Oh, it's finally over. Oh, the nightmares. They're finally done. Oh, so I finally, after 23 hours of trying, beat the final boss of the Elden Ring DLC, Shadow of the Erdtree. Honestly, it was too easy. I mean, the developers should be ashamed of themselves how easy they've made that fight. I mean, honestly, 0 out of 10. Get harder, please. I am begging you. But all jokes aside, I looked at a video from Moist Critical where he talked about how he had the title of one of his videos, Elden Ring Boss DLC is too easy, and people got absolutely pissed off at him. And it's like, so what? Did irony go out the fucking window with these people? Right now, because the way he described it, people were legitimately mad. It clearly was a joke, but for some odd reason, been a reason I probably already know, people got legitimately mad at him. And I mean, I just wanted to tell him, right, he's not going to look at this video. I was just going to tell him that, look, you don't have to bend to these people. You don't have to apologize, right? Because they don't care about the game. Look, anyone who played Elden Ring knows that what you said is a joke. It's people who do not play Elden Ring or they played it, realized they were pretty bad, and it's fine to be trash at the game. I mean, you can be trash and still have fun. But for some reason, they got legitimately mad at him over a title of a video, right? And they made him change it, and he changed it. I'm like, man, you don't gotta do all that. Just fucking suck. Just wear that shit like a fucking condom. Be like, yes. And I mean, there's probably people who were mad at him because it took them 30 hours, or they still haven't beaten the boss, and they're legitimately mad. So they're like, oh, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to go clickety clack on the keyboard, right? I'm not going to get better. I'm not going to find new strats. I'm not going to use other tools, right? Like, I beat the fucking boss my way. I didn't, I refuse to look online and see how other people did it. And to my knowledge, I think Moist Critical beat the boss fist only. So he put no buffs, no nothing on. He just went in full raw, let me Adams. And that's legitimately something he should be proud of. Because look, I don't understand this age of you're not allowed to be proud of your accomplishments, even if they're in a game. I mean, I think you hold the right as an adult to brag about your achievements, even if it's in a video game as well as in real life. Look, the point of games is to challenge people. It's why people believe in the past games were better than they are now. Even though there are bangers out now, it's like back then games legitimately challenged you, and they were made in a way that they knew even if you grow up, you'll understand the game and well, not understand it, but still play it. You know, there's games back then that I could never beat now because I'm a grown ass man with responsibilities. But and that's the point. Elden Ring, I mean, it's not really for kids, but it really brings you back to how games used to be. Like it legitimately challenges you. And plus, I beat the game like 10 times, and each time you beat it, they get stronger. So I was literally playing it on not the hardest difficulty, but god damn it, it was up there. And I don't know how much more stronger they get after you beat the game and you start New Game Plus. Maybe they get a little stronger. They're a little bit more unpredictable. They spam moves. This is all only what I can glean. They spam moves like you don't really know what they're going to do next. You know, if you use magic, they try to close the distance, or your summon is idiotic. Like, it's an RNG chance if when the mimic tier will like actually do what he's supposed to do, or just fuck around and take a leisurely stroll near the boss while you're getting your ass beat. I mean, there's so many factors that are thrown in. I mean, buffs and debuffs. Well, debuffs in particular on the bosses don't last as long, and it takes a lot more to put them on. Like, I tried to use a Scarlet Rot on the final boss, and he shakes. And when it actually applies, he goes into his second phase, which shakes all that off. And I don't think I've ever applied it to the last phase. And it's like when all these things come together to make the game objectively more difficult than it was, say, if it was just your first playthrough. And that makes the game even harder. Again, it took me 23 fucking hours of trying to actually beat him. And god damn it, I did it, and god damn it, I'm proud of it, and god damn it, I'm a fucking brag about it. Like honestly. I watched that video and I was like, man, why do you have to cave into people who do not care about jokes, who just want to go clickety clack and be mad? And I mean, Moist Critical doesn't seem like a guy who will purposefully get on people's nerves. Like, he's the type of guy that if you get at him, he'll absolutely shit talk you back, as we've seen with even on stream. Even on streams, he'd be talking shit about people. And to my knowledge, even Asmongold, he said the boss was too hard. Then he quit. Then I assume he looked up a build online and came back with the shield build and beat the boss. So, I mean, he caved into despair and was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just look online. And it's like, bruh. Half the time I was fighting the boss, I was quiet and watching Twitch, watching YouTube, and just, throwing shit at the wall. Because look, this is how it is with me in fighting most of the bosses in the game. It's RNG that they won't do the bullshit, that one tap shit. Well, it's RNG that anything may or may not one tap you, but it's also RNG that they don't do the specific thing that comes in for the one tap. So I probably died like hundreds of fucking, maybe even thousands of times, 1,000 times. I don't know. I don't have a death counter on my fucking videos, but I mean, for the whole 5 people who's probably going to watch this video, and half of that's going to watch the stream, I'd like to know. It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting. But god damn it, Elden Ring itself, I have my misconceptions on Elden Ring DLC. Like, one, they reuse a lot of enemies that is just don't really need to be reused. Like, they have new enemies and they have new variants of enemies. And obviously they have enemies that can fuck your shit up in like 5 seconds. Like in one of my videos, I literally just stroll past one of those poison plants and they beat my dick until I died. It was interesting. It was a very interesting experience. And even fighting the damn furnace giants was amazing. Like, I enjoyed it. But then they got the Louis Vuittons on, and I couldn't do anything. I killed one of them because it bugged out, but there's still one more fucking furnace giant I gotta beat the fuck out of. So, and I think there's still one area I haven't really searched, but I mean, I might do that on my own because right now I need to put videos up and I just need to play other games. I lost the remote. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I was mad some of the times I died. Because some of the times I've died to some stupid shit. And I think it might have cost me a remote. And god damn it, I'm surprised my table even held up. Look, I'm a man of veritable strength, right? My dog be looking at me like my dude literally having a conniption over here. But hey, the Elden Ring DLC, if I have to attribute a numeric value on it, no, you really gotta think about this. Because there are some bugs where you swear to God you swung at an enemy, but nothing happens. They do reuse a lot of enemies, and half the time I just ended up cheesing the reused enemies. But there's a decent amount of new weapons and enemies. There's new variants of talismans, even talismans that aren't better. They're just sort of there, like all of the Crucible ones. There are new areas and new dungeons, which is what most people ask for. I mean, I just did them when I came across them, but there's probably dungeons even I haven't. There are those types of dungeons that don't have a boss that forges, which is weird because the point of dungeon is beat boss and leave. But you get decent weapons and like ancient dragon stones and the somber variants. They do have new incantations. They do have new magic. Some of them better, some of them worse. And there are quests that I kind of breezed past because look, Elden Ring demands that you wring the fucking story and quest out of it. You gotta follow a character from one point, talk to him a lot of times, and follow them to a different point, talk to him about a bunch of times, and I just sort of look on my first Elden Ring playthrough. It was just raw. I just didn't worry about that. That's why I played through the game multiple times. So I can one play multiple different ways and encompass it different stories at a time with new items and new everything. Like I made it a rule not to use the same item or the same magic unless I'm in a pinch. Right? Because again, like weapons like Rivers of Blood just does not is not applicable anymore on like your even on your like sixth playthrough. It's like okay, this weapon is all right, but it locks me in place and enemies don't stagger, and it's almost impossible to break their stance. And well, if you go through it again. So I don't even worry about it. It happens, but half the time I didn't even worry about breaking the boss's stance because it's nigh on impossible. I don't know. I'd give it. I don't want to just give it an 8 because it's not worth an 8. But I also don't want to be them people that give it a 9.7 because there does have its like there's also like load-in problems where places don't even load in. I'd give it about a 9. Yeah, I'd give it a 9. I enjoyed the run. There's things that sort of noggled the brain, but I enjoyed the run. And it's more Elden Ring, which was what people want. Me, I expect a little bit more, but I like the game. Tis the best. But anyway, I don't usually cover drama of other content creators because look, you have two different fucking football teams, the people who will defend them and the people who won't, and they go at each other. You know, you have the Elden Ring is a hard game tribe going after the people defending. And my thing is, and this isn't really much of a defense for him, it's just you don't have to apologize for things that are clearly a joke, but people decide to take seriously, right? You don't have to change anything. Just let them have their little tirade. They'll fizzle out. They'll get the fuck over it. I mean, on the internet, we're all fucking adults, or at least we should only be adults on the internet. But you know, some adults have the mindset of 5-year-old girls or 12-year-old girls, which nothing wrong with 12-year-old girls. It's just I don't care the opinion of a 12-year-old girl. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be that guy. And if you have a grown ass adult with that mentality, hell, I care even less. Because at least a 12-year-old girl knows she's a 12-year-old girl. And you have adults that act like 12-year-old girls but demanded to be treated like seriously. And it's like, no, I don't think I will. But that's all I gotta say about this video and about this situation. Y'all have fun. Peace.